TNGTE English Senior August 2011. Second paper. Condensation. 5 seconds. Comments. Speaking on the budget in the Legislative Assembly, an honorable member said, "Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to say a few words on the budget presented by the Finance Minister. As admitted by the Minister himself, this only an interim budget and therefore does not provide for any new schemes. But I dare say that the budget has been prepared with great care and impartiality to satisfy all parties. First of all, I would like to point out that we should give the greatest importance to water supply and drainage. I would request the government to give more financial aid than at present to all municipalities so that they may be able to execute more quickly water supply and drainage schemes. It is seen from the papers that the government have recently decided to permit all municipalities in the state to take loans for the implementation of water supply and drainage schemes only from the residents of the areas concerned. In view of the present financial stringency and when the money market is shy, it is not possible for the municipalities to raise the loans from local residents who will not come forward with contributions for the loans. So, I would suggest to the government that they should revise their decision and sanction loans at present for the execution of water supply and drainage schemes. Secondly, I would also like to bring to the notice of the government another matter connected with municipal administration, namely the difficulty felt by municipal councils in securing suitable men to run their dispensaries and medical institutions. The scale of pay given for medical employees of municipalities is much lower than that given to the employees in regular government service. As a result, doctors are willing to work in municipal dispensaries. In view of this, I would request the government to raise the scales of pay of the medical employees of the municipalities so as to bring them on a par with the government scales. At the same time, this revision should also be applied to doctors working in maternity homes and centers. In this connection, I would request the government to give more powers to the chairman of municipal councils as already resolved at the conference of chairmen of municipal councils. Thirdly, on this occasion, I would request the government to render all facilities and help for the improvement of agriculture. I would request them to do all that they can for increased production of food and for extension of electricity to all rural parts where there are no facilities for supply of electricity. In this connection, I would request the government to repair all irrigation tanks which are used for irrigation purposes. Fourthly, I would refer to the additional sales tax on tobacco. There are heavy excise duties on tobacco. So, this tax will add to the difficulties of those engaged in the manufacture of tobacco. This is only a cottage industry and thousands of laborers earn their livelihood thereby. I would like to point out that tobacco is consumed mostly by the common man and the labor class. The imposition of this new tax will naturally affect those people who consume tobacco in large quantities. So, in due course, the industry will dwindle and die a natural death. I would therefore warn the government that the very object of the government to realize this extra tax will fail. But I would agree to this levy if the state government make arrangements with the central government to reduce the heavy excise duties by 50% on the manufactured products. Elaboration. 5 seconds. Comments. Number 1. Sealed tenders are invited by the Controller of Administration, Central Leather Research Institute, Adayar, Chennai, for whitewashing, color washing and painting of 60 numbers of staff quarters. Tender forms may be obtained on payment of Rs 500 from the Controller from 1st to 18th January 2010 during office hours. The estimated cost of the work is Rs 10 lakhs. An earnest money deposit of Rs 20,000 is required. Work should be completed within 3 months. Completed tenders will be received up to 3 pm on 21st January. They will be opened at 4 pm on the same day in the presence of the tenderers or their authorized representatives. The Controller of Administration reserves the right to accept or reject any tender without assigning any reason. Draft tender notice. Number 2. Applications are invited for the post of Public Relations and Advertising Officer in the Durgapur unit of the Hindustan Fertilizer Corporation Limited. The candidate should be a postgraduate with diploma in journalism. He should have experience of 4 years in supervisory capacity. He should be below 40 years of age. Scale of pay for post is Rs 20,000 to 40,000. Higher initial start will be considered for exceptionally experienced candidate. Applications containing complete biodata should reach the office of the Senior Personnel Officer, Hindustan Fertilizer Corporation Limited, Durgapur, on or before 1st September 2011. Draft advertisement. Number 3. A metropolitan transport bus from Paris to Alandur was passing along the Anna flyover in Chennai city this morning. As there had been rains, the road was very slippery. Another interstate corporation bus was coming in the opposite direction very fast. So, the driver of the bus stopped the vehicle. In spite of it, the other bus collided with it. As a result, the driver suffered very serious injuries and many passengers were hurt. The driver was rescued by the fire service personnel. He was moved in a waiting ambulance to the Rajiv Gandhi Government General Hospital. The injured passengers were treated as inpatients. A case has been registered and the police are investigating. Draft an eyewitness account of the accident. Number 4. The 25th Annual General Meeting of the members of the United Commercial Bank Limited, Kolkata, will be held at its registered office in Kolkata at 4 pm on 10th April 2011 to transact the following business, namely to adopt the balance sheet as on 31st December 2010 and the auditor's report thereon, and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st December 2010, to declare a dividend, to appoint directors in the place of retiring directors, and to appoint auditors for the current year. Draft notice of meeting to be sent by the Secretary.